Well, most of our viewers spend a lot of their time online just to get away from the pressures and harsh realities of life. It's escapism, pure and simple. My next guest tells us that escapism on the internet is actually good for you, provided we strike the right balance. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our resident internet shrink, Dr. Roman Candle.
Hello, Steve. I'm so glad to be part of this.
The way you conduct yourself in a virtual world or in a chat room or on a social network, you would say things or type things or do things that you probably wouldn't be going to do in the real world because you'd feel too inhibited.
Certainly. Let's look at the developed world. We're dealing with a very challenging time. The social changing patterns whereby a lot of people are living in apartments by themselves. The traditional family unit has vastly changed and become much more diversified. It's all in a state of flux. And with the additional technological world, you've got people who are experimenting in a very profoundly different way socially. There are people who are engaging with the internet. They're speaking to people they don't know. They're presenting themselves in ways they don't know. They can change their gender. They can change their age. They can be flamboyant when they're conservative in real life.
I mean, you can go into a virtual world and you can go bungee jumping or skydiving. You can pilot a spaceship. You can be a rock star. You can do pretty much anything you want to do, which is simply not physically capable or willing to even have a go at in real life. So I'm wondering, what is it that drives people to increasingly spend portions of their lives in this virtual life, in this second life?
A myriad of answers here. Excitement and risk-taking behaviour. I think that particularly when it comes to men, we're biologically given towards risk-oriented behaviour. This represents an opportunity to be something different, to be ourselves, to take a risk, to get out and engage with a whole lot of people that we otherwise might not have the chance to engage with.
So, Roman, this is basically escapism, isn't it? Now, I mean, I was brought up to believe that escapism was a bit of a cop-out. It was a bit of an admission of defeat. It was a cowardly way. Is that right?
Absolutely not. We are living in very trying times. Society can exact upon us some expectations, demands. A lot of us really aren't geared to be able to answer to that in ways that can maintain ongoing health. Really, I think escapism is a really important part of coping with a complex modern world for which we were biologically not geared for. I think that in years and, in fact, centuries to come, we will strike a better balance than we're currently facing. And so it's okay to escape. It's okay to take risks, but it's all a question of achieving balance, personally, societally, and globally. We're yet to achieve it yet, but we're at cutting edge. You'll tell your grandkids about this era.
Yes, of course, our grandkids will grow up. This will all be perfectly normal to them. It's all sort of new to us.
Au contraire, I doubt that very much. I think your grandkids will look at what we're doing and think we're absolutely wacko. But certain aspects of what we're doing will become common practice and be built upon, I guess, in probably a better balanced scenario.
So am I understanding you correctly, Roman? You're basically saying that it is, in fact, healthy to seek escapism through virtual worlds and an online life?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm wondering to what extent is, given that we've talked about how, real life inhibitions tend to tamper down your behavior a lot, but you are unfettered and unrestricted when you go into the virtual world. To what extent do you think we are looking at the real person when we observe the behavior of an avatar? Is that very revealing about the person behind the avatar?
2 words, aspirational depiction.
Oh, well, 2 words, that puts it entirely into focus. Now, what is aspirational depiction?
You aspire to be as you present yourself to be. We're not going to present hairy moles on our avatars, are we?
Well, no, that wouldn't be my first choice. I'm not doing it now. Okay, well, this is all very, very good and positive. Are there any downside risks? Can you take escapism too far, do you think?
Of course. It is a question of balance. There's no other way to put it. It is vital that we combine our real-life scenario, getting out and exercise, good nutrition, socializing with cut 'em and bleed 'em types, our fellow species members, as well as the virtual world. I just come back to it, Steve, I'm going to bore you. Balance, balance, balance.
And yet more balance. Well, Dr. Roman Candle, you are in fact a psychotherapist in Sydney, in Australia, but you're also our resident shrink. You'll be coming back and you'll be talking to us more about psychological behaviour and human behaviour online.
I'd love that, and also I'd love the opportunity to be challenged by people. I'd love to answer questions, and ideally love to be challenged, as I say. I think that this is cutting edge, so let's all look at opportunities to gain understanding of what's happening here. We're at cutting edge here.
Okay, everybody, you can actually send messages with questions or problems or suggestions to Dr. Roman Candle. There's our address there on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Roman Candle.
Thank you.